Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 2 of Citizen Sleeper. On our last episode, we had just kind of started figuring out where we might be able to figure out how to kind of put our bodies back together. I don't know if we're gonna figure that out today. But, yeah. We are on episode 2. We've got game capture. I think our sound is good, and we're gonna get ready to play a game. Today is Monday, March 10th, and I hope everyone's had a great day. So, let's get this party started. Let's see. We just woke up, so we are gonna take a look around. I forgot how to move. It's been like a whole week since I've played. Okay. She still doesn't have our information. We need to make money, guys. So, let's do Drago's yard again. Oof. The biggest of oofs. Oh no, don't use that dice. I wonder why we have a negative modifier on that today. Oof, we are exhausted. But we made some currency. We could try this one. I'm a little nervous with the neutral and negative traits. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna go back to the house today. It's been a week since I've played this, so I've got to get my mind back into the rift of things here. Oh no, we are starving. Okay, let's leave. As you close up, a voice echoes down the corridor towards you. Sleeper, wake up. Alright, let's turn. Who's that guy? Fang is coming down the corridor towards you, a wonky grin on his broad face. Hey, glad I caught you. Do I know you? He grins. You do now. He puts a hand on your arm. I've seen you hanging around. Just want to chat. You staying in that thing? He nods back to the container, shaking his head. Rough. It can be hard to get a start on the eye. He looks away down the passage. What was it old Erlin said? The eye opens for us all. Nice idea, but well, not always very practical. He glances back at you. We do our best, but it isn't easy. We? You pass together into the main hallway. Havenage. We are all one dysfunctional family. Fang puts an arm around you. I'm not part of the security branch, though. Don't worry, I'm with systems. Havenage? I have so many questions here. Think of us as an administrative association for the eye. Depending on who you talk to, we either emerged as a response to or a continuation of Andre Erlin's original union. He smiles. Personally, I avoid the topic. He stops you in the quiet passage. Look, that's not what I'm here to discuss. I've been seeing some unusual network activity, and well, I know a little bit about you sleepers. I have a small proposition for you. He glances around, but this is not the place for it. I have an office just across the way. Give me a cycle or two to prepare, then when you are settled, stop by. He lowers his voice and gives you a dark look. In truth, I need you. If what they say is true about you sleepers, well, there's work to be done. He pats you on the back, his voice bright and his dark look suddenly gone. Stay clean, sleeper. He walks off down the passage, raising a hand in farewell. Well, that was wild comms. So, we are hungry, so we're gonna go eat. Oh, do I now have the cryo for it? Oh, there we go. Hooray! I'm not starving anymore. Love that for me. So now we're gonna go here. We're at the Hab block now. The first thing you see on entering is the glint of Toshiro's implants, like a cat's eyes in the dark of the corridor. He nods you in as you arrive at Sabine's door. The entryway is still dark as you push through the sheeting into the surgery room. I have it. Sabine stands with a case open in front of them, a set of vials lined up inside, separated by foam inserts. They pick one up, rotating it in the warm light. I have no idea how Yadigan... They trail off. We should treat this with caution. It looks authentic, but I have no idea if it really is what it appears to be. I'm the test case? That seems to be the case. Unfortunately, I'm not sure we have any other choice. They gesture for you to sit on the bed. The stabilizer works under a similar principle to an immunosuppressant in a transplant operation, in that it stops your body from rejecting the unfamiliar part of itself. In the case of your frame, the unfamiliar part is each of your biosynthetic organ groups, which over time are identified by your body as foreign material and therefore must be eliminated. Sabine holds up a vial of the would-be stabilizer. However, unlike an immunosuppressant, the stabilizer doesn't do this by limiting your entire immune system. Instead, it re-encodes your biosynthetic organs with new protein chains, which act as passcodes within your immune system. The stabilizer refreshes those passcodes, keeping your frame from rejecting all of its own organs. Which means the stabilizer should be able to encode any organic or biosynthetic matter to be accepted by your immune system. Keyword here is should. They glance away. At least, if the stabilizer is genuine. The only way to know for sure is to inject the vial. They begin re-dyeing the syringe. I will start with a small dose to limit the risk. Okay. Let's do it. Sabine cracks the glass neck of the stabilizer vial and uses a syringe to extract a fraction of the liquid. They tap the syringe and you watch as if any sign might emerge from the clear liquid. You barely feel the needle, your frame registering the initial injection, but with little response. Oh boy. A sensation begins to spread from the site, a fizzing, trembling wave that disperses through your arm with incredible speed. Your vision goes white, and when it returns, Sabine appears encased in shards of sparkling light that slowly fade into darkness as you settle back against the bed. You swim in darkness. Muffled noises like an argument heard from underwater, prickling waves of cold. When you sit back up, Sabine is sitting in a chair by the window, facing away from you, backlit by the glow of their slate. Awake? Yes. What happened? I'm gonna say, what happened? The stabilizer is genuine. They sit down beside the bed. I don't know how Yadigan acquired a case of this stuff, but they did. Sabine looks troubled, distracted. You should rest some more, but you're going to have to do that somewhere else. They gesture to the door. I have other patients, sorry. Sabine nods toward the case. I'm afraid I can't offer you any more doses. You're going to need to pay for your next dose. Silence fills the room and they return to their glowing slate. Looking around the room, it seems different somehow, as if things have moved or shifted. You wonder how long you've been out. Sabine? Nothing comes free, sleeper. Remember that. You manage to get to your feet and wander out into the hallway. The queue stretches down the flickering corridor. Toshiro stands impatiently by the door and fixes you with a glare as you leave. You lower your eyes as you stumble past, somehow faintly aware of the station spinning beneath you. Okay, well... we know how to get stuff. We don't have any upgrade points right now. So once we get upgrade points, we can upgrade to be more efficient. Oops. That's the cycle clock. We have a negative modifier on that, and I hate that a lot. This is decent, though. Alright, making money. This is the good shit, so we're gonna go ahead and run that again. So, a debt called in. Oh, that's hella cool. I should have used that other dice on this. This is definitely a really interesting game. We're talking to Feng again. Sleeper. Feng catches your attention as you approach the Havenage building, leaning against a bay door to the side of the entrance. You approach. Easier to come in this way. Security and all that. He gives you a look. You know. He slams a button and the bay creaks open, blinking lights in the dark behind it. You follow Feng inside. Truth be told, I don't spend much time upstairs. This is where I work. The door hisses as it closes behind you. Bum bum ba. The bay is filled with pieces of hardware, all rigged up to generators and diagnostic slates and things you don't recognize that glow with blue screen light. There's a chorus of hums that blends into a single wave of static, filling the dark corners of the room. Feng leans on a server stack and gestures around. You like it? What is all this? He taps a nearby server stack, which beeps in response. This is my treasure trove, all dredged up from the sea of systems we call the Eye. You wouldn't believe what this place runs on. He steps over to a towering block speckled with vents. Some of these systems are from the original station, the one Solheim built. We had to invent new components, repair things we never built, reverse engineer entire subsystems into existence. Residents here look up at the Eye and think they are seeing a concrete reality. But this place is a system in constant flux, decaying and growing, collapsing into new configurations. He walks down between the hardware stacks and you follow. We're keeping this place alive, but also we're making it into something new, dragging it away from those corporate origins. He stops. At least that's what I'm trying to do. He turns back to face you among the flickering machines, humming all around you. I know you can see this too, Sleeper. All these systems in sections. You can, can't you? I can see it. It makes sense, right? You're between here and there, between the people and their systems. You light this place up like a beacon. That's what I need. You glance at the lights around you, and as you do, they seem to flicker and to realign, to follow your gaze. Fang notices it too. I'm guessing being a beacon isn't always ideal when you were on the run, though. They're tracking me. He pats you on the shoulder. Maybe I can help with that. There's a lot of old growth in this place. Subsystems I can't see. Access protocols lost to time and decay. Secrets. A shitload of secrets. With your help, I can unlock this place. Break off those last ghost limbs of corporate control. He lowers his voice below the hum. Even in Havenage, there's old growth. Those whose roots track back into those bad old days. You help me dredge up the past, and I'll see what I can do about that tracker of yours. He winks. What do you say, Sleeper? I'm in. Fang pumps his fist and claps you on the shoulder. He meets your eye. You won't regret it, Sleeper. Fang passes you a ragged-looking metal tab. A gift, he smiles. It's a Solheim cipher. I dug it up from the depths of the station. Slot that into an old network gate and you'll be able to pull out all kinds of secrets from the nodes inside. He walks you back to the front of the bay. Start by bringing me whatever you can turn up. Use that emulated mind of yours and see what's out there. Let's get a picture of how things are. Those above, he nods at the ceiling, have granted me an acquisitions budget. I can pay you for whatever useful data you bring in. I know you need it. He slams the door button again. Keep it quiet and keep it clean, Sleeper, and I'll see you soon. You step, blinking back out into the passage. Those flickering lights still in the back of your mind. So that's what that... Okay. So that's what that little eyeball's for. have the cipher. Why can't I use it? Can I not put it when I'm in that mode? Hang on. No, that's definitely how I have to be. Hang on. Oh, it's not the correct one. I'm being a dingus. Okay. Oh, no, we're not going in there. Get that data. Get that data. I like data. Love that for me. There we go. Beautiful. Oh man, there's so many. This is so cool. Alright, we can't do that one. Alright, we used that dice already. Extracting data. And we got a new, Ew. Oh, brother, Please hold. The thread around you thickens until it is a ring, a cylinder, a tunnel of light circled around you. It is blinding for a moment, and then it is gone. As it fades, you see a figure, a creature in front of you. It is strange, head flickers between different angles, reading you. What are you? The shape paces around you on lithe legs, though there is no ground here to pace on. Entity, identify, origin, serial cadence. The figure faces you expectantly. Sleeper, SNR. No, I'm not telling you shit. Refusal. The figure's strange head rotates. Brackish signature. Of and not of. Attempting interface. As the figure speaks, more threads begin to spiral from its head. Thick, snaking, vine-like ribbons that flex and wave. They approach with intent. Oh, man. I'm running from that. You kick off and glide away through the cloud, the threads surging after like predatory tentacles. They follow, wrapping the space around you until you are held within a web, a tangle of tentacles closing in. Stop! Hunter halts its threads, its head twitching. Entity, your identity is unknown. We only seek to correct illegalities. Can you confirm your legal right to sentience? I'm a person. Incorrect. You are an entity. All at once, Hunter's head is directly in front of yours, blocking your vision. You stink of their taste. The one from the sealed dock. Hunter shimmers with fury. I will find access. I will interface. Sealed dock? An entity hides in the rotunda. You are its puppet. Hunter extends a razor-edged thread. I will not be diverted from my task. It glows with murderous intent. Strike. You lash out with all your force. Not a physical strike, but a spike of interference leaping out like the tip of a spear. Hunter stumbles, shifts, and separates. Wake up. You open your eyes, blinking back into the station light, shaking with fear. We didn't like that. That was very much brother. I love how I'm like, anyway. I feel like that's enough of that today. We did a whole lot of that today. Sheesh. That was traumatizing. He's still got his shit going on, but you know what, like... I love how I'm still doing that. I'm like, maybe I can get some... Oof. I love getting food from him. No, I don't want to go back there. Dragos' yard. I think this is the... Yeah, make my money back. Now I gotta leave and go to sleep. What active scenes do I have? Oh. Yo, what's up, Dragos? I got money for you. You arrive into a buzz of activity at the yard. Red blinking lights flash across a vast dark shape, suspended below the dome. They flicker across scorched hull plates and bent structures, spilling from holes in the twisted shape. The cutter is huge and has been torn apart in some violent encounter. She's a beauty, isn't she? Draco stands to the side, focused on the hulking ship as it is lowered into the yard. She is. I should thank you. This place was on its last legs when you turned up, and now look at this. The ship descends slowly, its interior visible through multiple hull breaches. You struggle to gather the same enthusiasm as Drago's. For this monstrous craft, you can't help but think of what became of its crew. What happened? What do you mean? He glances at you. I managed to convince our salvager friends to give it to me on credit. That's what happened. No, what happened to the ship? Not my concern. He shrugs. The ship creaks like a calving iceberg as it reaches the base of the yard. Dragos is visibly excited. I know I said you shouldn't stick around, but I'm gonna need some help with this one. Their drones start to crawl over the hulk, their lights illuminating flashes of dented hull. Watching, you wonder if you arrived in a similar fashion, locked inside that container, the wreck of the S&R freighter lowered into the yard like a corpse ready to be butchered. Or was the container delivered to Dragos on its own, a womb for your rebirth into this strange station? You shudder. Perhaps if you could learn something about this ship, you might be able to trace the path that led you to this yard. Dragos squeezes your shoulder. After these past cycles, I think we are up to it. What do you think? You see the fading name of the ship emblazoned on its side. Winterlight. Let's do it. He claps you on the back. Glad to hear it. Come back in a few and we can make a start. A real beauty, Dragos repeats, perhaps just to himself. You take one last look at the shattered ship as the drones start cutting, and then slip out of the yard, feeling suddenly cold in the empty passage. Yo, we got an upgrade point. You completed your first drive. Each drive completed unlocks an upgrade point to spend on upgrading your character. Access your character menu via the arrow button at the top right of the screen. Alright. That's so hard. I don't know which one I want. I want something that helps with money. I have a -1 in this one. Negative modifiers suck. These are negative as well, though, too. Damn. I'm gonna go with extractor. So it went in and it just gave me like an... Instead of having the negative modifier, I guess. I mean, I guess. See, that seems to be how we make the good money. Is going into this Eyeballion mode. Damn it. Oh, I keep hitting the wrong button. Okay, so as long as that Eyeballion... Oh, they all need the single die. That is fucking unfortunate behavior today. Okay, so it looks like I'm not doing that right now. We can't help them, though. Most of what comes in from the starboard belt is corroded trash, but sometimes something valuable can... I could buy scrap. I don't know if I want to buy it. So this is components. Alright, so we're not there yet. Very curious about this. I don't think I make money from that, unfortunately. Maybe I do, though. I used my one good dice on that, guys. My, like, really good die. Oh, so I can sell scrap. I need to go back to the scrap market. Okay, so that was actually a really good deal. No, I gotta find someone to take scrap. This is what I was looking for earlier. But I'm all out of points now. Nice, nice. And then for stabilizer... So it'll be like 100, so when I need that... Cool. Well, I'd say we had a pretty decent day there. Except I'm being creeped on. Oh, no, she's hungry. I feel like we've unlocked that, right? Well, we'll see. So, We got a lot of shit going on, guys. I'm thinking... Let me see if I can deliver anything to Fang. No, he wants data. I need to go get more data. Oops, my bad. Love it. Are you kidding me? Oh, wait. We're gonna peace out before he comes and gets me. Cause he thinking about it. Cause he a creep. Give him what he wants. We still need to collect some data for the day. I'm thinking we need a little bit more. I'm afraid to turn that eyeball on again, y'all. It's a little scary. Cause that's the meter. Oh, damn. Because it cuts it in half. That sucks. Well, let's finish this up. Sweet. And we can probably finish up Fang's quest tomorrow. Squeezed into the office at the entrance to the yard, you lay out everything you have on the winter light across the metal desk. Your makeshift forensic notes glow on Dracos's old writing slate, overlapping lines and scrawled annotations. A set of drone scans fill the small terminal with a spectrum of colors, a heat map of damage and decay. A crumpled printout from the office's ship registry lies beside them, synthetic paper so thin it is almost transparent. Alright. We're gonna look at the printout. A plain list shows the registration history of the Winter Light. The gaps between the entries tantalizingly opaque. Its first registration was a couple of thousand cycles ago, on this very station logged at the central hub. From here, the registry tells the story of a busy ship, one that rarely stayed on station for more than a few cycles, and often took on voyages that kept it away from the eye for up to 100 cycles. The Winter Light got little rest. We're gonna look at the slate now. Your attempts at reconstruction of the Winter Light before its fatal accident consists of a series of overlapping sketches and diagrams, showing possible layouts and configurations of the gutted cutter. This was no off-the-shelf model. It was heavily modified, parts replaced with inventive configurations. The new retrofitted into the old, handmade joints and reconditioned filters. This was someone's pride and joy, a lifetime project kept running with care and intuition. It also contained a set of hidden compartments. You missed them at first, where the hull had been thickened, the corners rounded to disguise the change. But they are there. We're going to look at the monitor now. Reactor failure. That is the verdict that anyone would have returned after a cursory glance at these stacked heat maps of the remains of the Winter Light. On the terminal screen, the ship is shown in section blotches of color marking the approximate damage the ship sustained. Dominating the view is a single blood-red rose, radiating from the ship's fraction drive. A simple story. A catastrophic failure of the drive core, leading to a fatal hull breach. A well-documented failure likely brought on by wear or misuse. But you weren't looking at the rose of the reactor, you were looking at a smaller, paler mark, one that might be easy to miss at first glance. It is a thumbprint-sized and delicately placed over the control servers for the ship's main external airlock. It suggests a controlled, shaped explosion, one designed to punch through the hull and allow access to the airlock from the outside. You were looking at it because it is troubling you. An old ship, many cycles under its belt, carefully maintained. A reactor failure preceded by a carefully concealed external entry. A suite of hidden compartments tucked away. This was Winter Light, and this was its story. But that's not the full story, because there's something else. It is little more than a list, a tiny chunk of data you were able to pull from the ship's systems. The main systems were fried, of course, but the Winter Light had a separate system, one tucked away in one of its hidden compartments, armored, air-walled. This list, the only recoverable piece from the whole system, is a partial inventory. It details the contents of the hidden compartments. Some of it you recognize, some of it you don't. Ship mine, ROMs, shimmer, cryo chain codes, and then the final entry, passenger, sleeper. You stare at the list on the terminal and try not to think about what it was like arriving here, in the cold for so long, half frozen in the freight container. Had this sleeper been smarter, luckier? How had they convinced the Winter Light, a smuggler ship if you ever saw one, to extract them from Essen Arp? Luckier, you laugh. There had been no remains found in any of Winter Light's compartments. You had checked. They weren't so lucky, you guess. Not in the end. You hold up a vial of stabilizer to the light. This was all you find in their compartment. A parting gift from Essen Arp. Well, it won't go to waste now. You put it back in your pocket. The thought still bothers you, though. 2 ships carrying sleepers come into the same yard. 2, one after the other. That feels wrong. You flip back and forth between data sets on the terminal, thinking, and you see that thumbprint again. The mark of someone trying to get in. Someone who entered the Winter Light with precision and speed, and when they were done, left the reactor to clean up the rest. The thought of that person makes you shiver. Suddenly, the office door creaks open. Draco stands in the doorway, staring at the equipment and the notes you have assembled. What is all this? He snatches the slate from the desk faster than you realize he could move. You running an investigation here? What am I paying you for? The drone on his shoulder starts whining shrilly, his anger passing to it through his implants. Where's this ship from? Are you hiding something? Stay silent. I'm gonna ask where the ship's from. Leave this alone. He starts shaking his head. I know you have a lot of questions, but this isn't the way. He turns away, muttering to himself. This is the last thing I need. This ship had a sleeper on it. Who is bringing you these ships? Draco freezes, suddenly angry. What did you say? He pushes past you to look at the terminal at the list. He shakes his head. So what? Aren't all of you trying to escape? You're lucky it was you that made it out alive, not them. He folds his arms indignantly. Draco seems to steady himself and then turns back to you, the heat map of the reactor failure reflected in his headset's glassy eyes. I've given you a place to stay. I've given you work. He stumbles over the words, unsure what to say. There's plenty others who would have sold you on, turned you in. But not me, no. I know. He softens. Look, you've helped me too. He quiets the drone. I've done well by you, and you've returned the favor. He straightens up and clears his throat. But this obsession you have with this ship isn't going to work for me. I can't have you making my clients nervous. I can't have you digging up whatever it is you are after. He sighs. You can't work here anymore. I need the work. There's plenty of work to be had on the Eye. Salvagers need offloads in the Rotunda, and Yadigan are always looking for crew. I'm not the only show in town. Dragos reaches across you and flicks off the terminal. As the lights of the monitor dies, a kind of eerie calm falls on both of you. Whatever this was, it is done. You made it out, Sleeper. That means you have to move on. What if they come for me? Then you run. You don't come here, you don't scream, you don't shout, you run. In the dark, Draco's headset glints and you wish for a moment you could see his eyes and meet them. Maybe then he would understand. You get up from the desk and Dracos gathers the notes, stuffing them into a pocket of his overalls. He holds the door for you, his headset as expressionless as always. You can stay in the container. I won't take that from you. Don't come back. His tone is final, definite with an edge of disappointment. You walk out of the office and then out of the yard, not stopping to look back. You leave the yard, thumbing the vial in your pocket, knowing that this at least guarantees you a little more time. As you walk, your mind once again drifts to that person who killed the Winter Light, and whether or not that person will come for you. We got another point. So we studied the Winter Light and we repaid Dragos, but now we can't work at the shipyard, which really sucks. Let's see. I guess that unlocks it. That super sucks. I'm sad about that, but, you know. We gotta go complete active scenes. Trying to see where I have an active scene. Steal the dock plans. What active scenes? Oh, there we go. Sleeper! Emphys calls out to you, a booming voice that echoes through the corridor. Tell me a story. He throws a handful of chopped mushrooms into his wok, the fire leaping up to meet the oil. I see you, cycle in, cycle out, but we never speak. Tell me a story. What kind? Well, any kind. He pauses to drizzle something from a plastic bottle into the wok. But one of yours. He looks up at you. Nothing stolen. You pause, the spices rich in your nostrils, and think about what kind of story you'd like to tell Emphas. You look at Emphas, the listener, and imagine he has heard it all before. Perhaps he would enjoy a strange story, something with some spice. I'm going to tell him about my dreams. All the sleepers, you tell Emphas, had dreams. Some were simple. Memories left over from... Oh, let me move this out of my way. There we go. Memories left over from the emulation process that had become tangled up in their minds and would come out when they slept. It wasn't rare to hear a sleeper in the dorm scream or cry out in the night. But your dreams, those gray, skeletal after images of systems and structures, of threads and patterns, weren't like the others. They weren't memories or nightmares. They were reflections of reality, distorted, yes, but somehow true. You learned back then to keep quiet about them, to let them flow through your mind like water. That was until now, until you arrived in this place. And now your dreams colonize your waking life. They slip behind your eyelids with every blink, and now you understand they aren't dreams at all, but some process of interfacing, of speaking, of living in another world that flows through this one like smoke through air. You tell him that you do not know if there is a reason for your dreams. Perhaps you reason it is just some side effect or particular quality of the frame you inhabit. But whatever it is a gift, and you hope to make use of it. Emphas finishes cooking and squints a little at you. Sleeper, he smiles. You are quite the storyteller. He eyes you, and you realize that he is trying to gauge how honest you have been in your story. Emphas passes you the meal he has cooked, and you take it gratefully. As you eat, he talks, a natural exchange. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks around at the emptying market. But my time is done for today, and I do not want to keep you longer, so I will make a proposal. He gestures to the plastic boxes of ingredients stacked behind his stall. These are good enough for most, but someone told me a story that made me think of a couple of cycles ago. They said that across the gap in the greenway, fresh mushrooms grow. Have you heard this? Sure. Then you already know what I want to ask. Emphas begins packing up his things. Can you bring me some? I cannot cross the gap, and I worry about leaving my things behind. He smiles. I'm sure a storyteller like you could handle the trip. I will prepare them for you, and if you wish to tell it, be the audience for another story. Agreed. Good, booms Emphas. Then I will wait for you to bring them. Emphas slides his walk away and straightens up. I will prepare a recipe then, Sleeper. Good luck with your foraging. You turn away and walk back into the main market, the rich taste of Emphas's food still lingering in your mouth. Stories for food, you think, a trade that seems more than fair. Okay, well, you know what? I'm into that. So we're gonna end our cycle. Oof. We're gonna end his cycle, and then we're gonna leave off there for today. And then we are gonna start episode 3 by, hopefully finishing up Fang's, data so that we can get the tracker removed from us. So, as always, thank you so much for listening and watching. I appreciate you guys so much. It has been a pleasure to do this, and I hope everyone's enjoying. If you are enjoying, hit the subscribe button, and let me know in the comments if you guys are liking this. Let me know how the audio is. And, yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you next time.